Hey everyone, it's McKeown back again with another video. Today's going to be a little bit different. We actually have an assortment of TikToks that my videographer has decided to send me. I've not seen any of these and they're all real estate oriented as far as they may be advice, they may be just comments regarding real estate. Honestly, I have no clue. I got to blind react to every single one of them and give my personal opinion on each one of them.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm ready for the first one.
Let's go with it.
I haven't got it yet because it's so slow. Oh shoot, my first one! All right, so here is the first one. It's titled Real Estate Investing Expert.
Don't do real estate sales. That's right, don't become a real estate agent. Look, you can make a lot of money being a real estate agent. You can even make $1 million a year. But guess what? In one deal, I can make $1 million. I can work 10 hours a month and make $1 million in a year. Get into real estate development. Hit the plus sign to learn more.
All right, so he's not wrong per se, but the amount of people that are actually able to get into real estate development, it's like professional athletes, right? In terms of the amount of people that actually play football versus the amount of people that actually become professional sports. Real estate development, a lot of it also is very, what's the easiest way to say it? Like if your parents did it, you're gonna do it, your kids are gonna do it, and so on and so forth. It's generational. I did not come from a real estate background. I got into real estate on my own. So obviously I started off with investing and then got my real estate license and have built my company to what it is. And the money's really in development, but that's something that you can't just get into. And honestly, it's something that takes many, many years to even get into to begin with, and then develop to the point where you're making the kind of money he just said he does. So the next one is titled, Don't Buy a Major Fixer-Upper. I'm actually going through the process of fixing a house right now that is the largest remodel that I've done. So we'll take a look at this one.
Let's get something that needs some cosmetic work, and here's why. Because you're new into the game, you still try and learn the process and build your team. There's just too many risks and too many things that can go wrong, and it takes way longer to finish those kind of projects to recoup your money than it is with a cosmetic one. Even though people say bigger risk, bigger reward, but understand this, slow and steady is what wins the race. Have a solid foundation first before you build your skyscraper. Don't buy a major
All right, so I can agree and disagree in a sense here. I actually have a client that decided to essentially jump into the deep end. He was renting an apartment, making 50 or 60K a year, and he jumped into a house that was about as close to a burned down home as you could really get. For instance, he had to replace the entire roof, the foundation, plumbing, electrical, and it was a complete demo. I actually have prior footage of the house actually being used, one of the bedrooms, for essentially a chicken coop where there was just a ton of chicken crap all over the floor. It was disgusting, probably the worst house I've ever been through. I guess second worst. I have another video of the worst. But on the flip side, I also have people that want to purchase houses and do absolutely no work to. So really, you've got to understand your risk. Like if you're someone that is risk adverse, then you probably should just buy a property that you're going to live in and not have to remodel, something that's turnkey. But if you're like Jake, he's a client of mine that I helped purchase a house already. He jumped into the deep end. I can tell you already, it's paid off tremendously for him, and he has a rental property that's cash flowing and a rental property that has a ton of equity. All right, so the next one, we will just say it's crap that realtors say, which is actually not titled that, but we're gonna take a look and see what this, I can already tell you that this one's gonna be hilarious.
Concept. Open 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 concept.
All right, so that's the entire TikTok. It's just basically making fun of real estate agents that are probably new, and the only real thing they know how to say is, oh wow, this is an open concept. A lot of the houses, as you guys may know, that's what's desirable now is, quote, an open concept. And I can definitely agree that if you're a new agent, it's probably what you're going to sound like, is you're going to be repeating yourself often. As you get more experience and you realize what your clients want, so on and so forth, hopefully you'll be saying more than open concept repeatedly. All right, the next one is titled Mortgage Tips on TikTok. If you don't know, my best friend actually owns his own mortgage company. We are filming this actually in his conference room. And this is sellers agents reading a beautiful personal letter on an offer that's too low. which honestly it happens a lot where you get low offers sent in on your listings and it's a super sweet letter, but their offer's just not high enough or even close to being high enough. So we'll take a look here.
I'm sorry, little one.
So if you do follow TikTok, that is a trend. It's Thanos' voice basically saying, "I'm sorry, little one," implying the fact that an individual that submitted an offer, even with a sweet, lovely letter from the family, unfortunately is going to be quite a bit too low, which happens far too many times kind of in the market that we're in right now. And it's funny, but not funny in a way. Obviously, if I have clients that don't get a house, it's an unfortunate situation. But on the flip side, you know, there is some humor to it too. All right, so the next one is a similar TikTok to the first one I saw, or the same person that filmed the first TikTok. It says, "Don't do residential real estate." And I'm gonna just take a guess, and he's probably gonna say do commercial, which is similar to his statement regarding development. Let's see if I'm right here.
Don't do residential real estate. Instead, do commercial real estate. Look, everybody on TikTok is going to tell you to flip houses, do wholesaling. Yeah, you can make money doing that. I started by flipping houses, and I made $50,000, and I thought that was great. Guess what? I'm doing commercial deals right now, and if I can't make $1 million on a deal, I'm not even interested. If you're going to put your time and energy into something, you're better off starting with commercial real estate. The numbers are a lot bigger. Hit the plus sign.
All right, so first things first, his beard should make a statement in itself. His beard is gray. Obviously, he's been doing this for quite a long time. You don't just jump into commercial real estate. You don't just jump into real estate development. It's something that you work up to. He even specifically stated that I started flipping houses and I made $50,000. I also used to be a high school teacher. And guess what? I made $50,000 in an entire year. So if you're making $50,000 flipping houses, or if you're making $50,000 from your rental properties, you're doing exceptionally well. Obviously, real estate development and commercial real estate is tremendous, but I can tell you this, I know personally a good friend of mine that does commercial real estate, and this is not to boast my career or my company at all, but I'm making twice as much as him. So in terms of commercial real estate, it does not mean that you jump in as a commercial real estate agent and you make millions and millions of dollars. You've got to make a network and community and have that kind of portfolio built up long enough to where you're successful in real estate. All right, moving on to the next one. It states, what's a piece of information that can save you money? Don't buy this. So let's take a look at this.
What's a piece of information that can save you money that most people don't know about?
Is don't buy new constructions because you'd be paying full market value for the property. Plus, after all the closing costs and all the fees, you're actually in it for more than what the property's worth. Instead, buy something like this that needs a little bit of cosmetic work. The reason why is you'll be able to buy it at a major discount. Once you fix it up, now you got some sweat equity. You can even rent out the bedrooms so you can have your renter pay for your mortgage and you live rent-free. If it's your own resident, you can go to the bank and get what's called a line of credit or a HELOC loan, which means the bank will loan to you at 90% of the appraised value. So you can take the cash back out, buy another piece of property, or invest into your business, or do whatever you want, but making that money works for you, and that is the smart way to do it. The info's there, the choice is yours, but think like an investor, not a homeowner, if you want to get rich.
Okay, so if you followed my journey, I just went through a process of building a new construction home, and there's some attributes to what he said, and I've seen him on social media quite frequently, as well as on TikTok. There's going to be some statements that he made that are true, and some statements that he made that couldn't be anywhere close to true. So first things first, if you buy new construction right now in our market, people are having to overbid for new construction. Overbid meaning, hey, I want a house now, I want to move into it next month, it's new construction, I'm going to overbid for the house. In that case, they're probably moving in with a house that's either at the value that they paid for or they paid slightly above what market value is. Well, I can tell you right now, if you buy pre-owned homes, you're paying above market value as well. And this is not a suggestion to go into the market that you're in and pay above market value, but the market that we are in, it's kind of what people are doing. Now, if you're sourcing your own deals, then yes, you can buy a pre-owned home or you can buy a house that needs some work from an individual that really can't afford to make that work. But on the flip side, you could also build a new home, like I did, and by the time you actually close on that home, I purchased my home for $620,000. I can tell you right now, within 7 or 8 months of actually having moved in, close to a year and a half of having actually gone under contract for the new build, I have close to $150,000 in equity. I mean, my house is not worth $620 anymore. It's probably worth $750 to $800. So I haven't had to put any repairs into my house. Obviously, it's all brand new, but I have a substantial amount of equity in the house because I built from the ground up. The next one is titled a 2-story apartment in New York City for only $800 a month.
So a lot of people have been asking me how I got a 2-story apartment in New York City for only $800 a person, so I figured I'd just show. So this is the downstairs, nothing crazy, it's all we need, nice little couch. And then if you look right there, there's the stairs, and then this is upstairs, and here. So a lot of people have been asking me how I got
If you are not familiar with the New York City market, it is extremely expensive. Obviously, COVID, from what I've heard, I've never even been to New York City. Rents have gone down a little bit. They may be going back up with everything kind of returning to normal. But $800 even in my market a month in the Dallas area can't get you too much. But I can tell you right now, $800 is definitely not getting you a 2-story apartment, even if it's the 2-story is a lip up in the floor. But even so, you're not getting anything for $800 a month in New York City. All right, the next one is titled Buying a House in 2016. I think I can already tell you where this is headed.
Hi there. Yes, I just showed your property to my buyers, the one that's been on the market for 4 months. That one. Yes, well, exciting news. My buyers would like to make an offer. Yeah, so they're offering $30,000 less. They will be asking up to 3% in seller concessions, a home warranty, a 90-day close, and the roof looked a little bit older, so they will be asking for a new roof. Oh, the sellers love it? Fantastic. I'll write it up now. Oh, hey, yeah, I just showed your listing that you listed 2 seconds ago. How many offers do you have on it? 80? Yeah. Well, my buyers would like to make an offer. They're offering $75,000 more. $10,000 earnest money going hard after acceptance, no inspection, no repairs. 30-day close, however, they'll let the sellers live there for an additional 6 months, rent-free. Oh, yeah, you have an offer $100,000 more. Of course you do.
So I can actually give you guys a clear example of that. So I got licensed in the summer of 2017, and I was writing contracts like this. I was writing contracts with concessions, meaning seller credits or money that the seller would give you to cover essentially all closing costs or maximize, trying to figure out what the most amount of seller credits I could get for my buyers to completely cover their closing costs. Then on top of that, we would negotiate the price, we would negotiate a ton of repairs. I've had repair amendments that were 2 pages long that got accepted, meaning they were repairing everything in the house. And now I just had a house that went under contract. As the listing agent, we sold it for 20% above asking. On top of that, 2 doors down sold less than 20 days ago with a pool and more updated, and our house is gonna sell for $35,000 more. So 10% more than 2 doors down. That's still nicer. And on top of all that stuff, we just got a repair request, but basically stated that the buyers would love for this stuff to be addressed, but at the end of the day, they're still gonna buy the house. So the market difference from 2000, even this is 16, the difference from 2017 to now is huge. All right, this next one does not have a title, so we're gonna take a look at what this TikTok is.
I think we've got squirrels.
Oh my gosh.
You think?
So that is a first. We don't have, we have squirrels here in Texas. None that I've seen have really brought any nuts into a house or in between the sheetrock. This is wild. I have seen some crazy stuff just on forums online in terms of what you can find behind sheetrock, in terms of, maybe prior owners writing stuff on the wood. But this is a first seeing a ton of nuts coming out of a wall from squirrels having brought them inside and between the sheetrock. Sir, put those back. That wall belongs to the squirrels. Sir, put those back. That wall belongs to the squirrels now. It's possible that you have squirrels. No, you have. No, you have the one from Ice Age. That poor thing is going to starve in the winter now. All right, so the next one says showing homes to buyers in Austin, Texas with a budget under $250,000. So I am familiar with the Austin market. I can tell you right now, you are gonna buy absolutely nothing for $250,000. So I can already tell you that this is going to be humorous in a sense. Even in the Dallas market, I had a client today I was showing homes to where entry, turnkey homes in the Dallas area are pushing $300,000. You can still find stuff for under $250,000 in Fort Worth, but Austin is the most expensive city in Texas. Yeah, so I mean, even if it's, okay, so if it's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, maybe condo with a high HOA, you could definitely find something in Austin, but as the video kind of showed you, you're not gonna wanna step outside. So if you do live in Austin, unfortunately, you're gonna have to have a larger budget than $250,000. Oh. All right, so this next one is actually Glenda Baker. I know who she is. She's actually in my coaching organization. She's a large mega agent and is good friends with, she doesn't know me personally, but she's good friends with a good friend of mine. So we're gonna see what she has to say on her TikTok.
So once upon a time, I sold a big ass house and I made $137,000 in commission on that one house. And rather than taking that money and investing it in real estate, I went and bought a brand new Mercedes. I went on a shopping spree and I pissed that money away. Instead of buying a townhouse on Lenox Road, it was right in the middle of foreclosure season. I could have bought that townhouse for $100,000. That townhouse today, that in 1995 was $100,000, is $1 million. That Mercedes is worth $0, and those clothes don't fit. This is a cautionary tale. So
I actually have a story there. My grandpa used to live in the Bay Area. I think he bought a property for $14,000 way back in the day, and I know he doesn't have it unfortunately now, but it's worth over $1 million too. I have a story myself. The house that I'm actually set to sell in the next couple weeks, I decided to purchase that house, and in order to purchase that house, I had to take out my crypto. So back before crypto even got way crazy like it has in 2020 and 2021, I was investing in Bitcoin and Litecoin back in 2016, 2017. In this case, I decided to sell all my Litecoin in the winter of 2017. If you go back and take a look at kind of the chart of Litecoin and where it took off right after the winter of 2017. So I sold all of my Litecoin in order to get the down payment I needed for that house. And the next 3 months, it essentially 4 to 5x'd. So the $20,000 I had in Litecoin at the time, being a high school teacher, $20,000 invested was a substantial amount at the time. It would have been $120,000, $140,000, and I sold it. So I can totally relate. I wasn't born in 95 when, you could buy a house where she is for $100,000. But I can tell you right now, all of my money is being invested appropriately in the right place. I'm certainly not buying a nice car or anything crazy with any of the commission checks that I get. I'm looking to build my business and continuing to invest in real estate. So I don't have situations like this. All right, the next one is buy your first deal.
Buy your first deal.
Buy my first deal.
Just buy it.
That's what I want to do, but I'm also scared that I'm getting overzealous. I don't know. I'm naive because I haven't.
The biggest thing I see is the analysis paralysis. Is so many people do not pull the trigger because they're so consumed with analyzing. They talk themselves out of any deals, right? You could have bought the worst deal ever 5 years ago, and you're looking smart. You're looking like a genius. If you buy a deal today, I can guarantee you 5 years from now, it will have been a good decision.
But I'd also need to familiarize myself with the market and stuff like that to find a deal.
It just depends what kind of deal you're trying to find. If you're only looking in a certain pocket of Las Vegas, yeah, it could be difficult. But if you're open to any and everything and you're just looking for equity, there's tons of deals out there. It just is a matter of, are you okay buying in that area or that house? Buy your first deal.
So I deal with this all the time. I actually have a good example. One of my good friends here actually has purchased 3 duplexes. I helped him purchase and partner with his dad on one. I then helped him purchase a duplex as soon as he could to live in, and he Airbnb'd the other side. Then I helped him purchase a 3rd duplex, which he's living in right now. And early on, before I think he even purchased the first duplex, he gave me his information, or gave me his friend's information to help him buy a house because he wanted to kind of do the same thing he was doing. Well, lo and behold, one friend, as I said, he has now bought 3 duplexes. The other friend wound up in a relationship and has yet to buy a house. I was helping him try to find a house in 2018. Had he bought really any house whatsoever, he'd have a substantial amount of equity because of the market here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and truly any market. Real estate has just continued to appreciate, just like the dollar has continued to really go down in value. Houses are more expensive now than they've really ever been. So he's in a, unfortunate situation where, hey, he could have had 2 or 3 properties by now, but instead he's renting still. All right, the next one is buyer's agents presenting offers in 2016 versus 2021. Already reacted to one of these. I can almost assume what this is gonna be, just how crazy the market has changed in the last 5 years.
Hi, so I'm sending you an offer and it's just under list price. We came in about $10,000 light. We are going to need 3% seller concessions. We're also going to need a paint allowance and the seller to replace the roof. We're going to have the 10-day inspection window. I'll let you know if we need to renegotiate anything, and we're hoping to close in about 40 days, but we'll let you know. I'm sending you an all-cash offer, $400,000 above list price. No inspections needed on the property. We are going to buy the property as is, 10-day close period, and we are also going to pay for the college of the 3 children we saw in the photo in the living room. Please let me know if we can make this work.
So I'm obviously a real estate agent. I'm networked with other real estate agents across the country. I've seen some crazy prices in terms of what homes have sold for, $400,000 over asking. It's got to be a multi-million-dollar home at that point. But here, in the Dallas area, I think I made a post the other day in terms of what percentage above asking people have sold homes recently. My 20% situation that just happened last weekend was on the higher end. People are doing anywhere from 10, 15, 18%, 20 is really high. But there was someone that said 40%. Someone that said the house that they listed, they sold for 40% above what they asked for, which is, just insane. Now, specifically in the Dallas area, we do have a lot of people relocating here, a lot of people relocating from areas that are more expensive, so they're taking a lot of the equity from the houses that they have there and taking the money really cash here to be buying properties at a fraction of what it would cost for that same house where they just came from. And I was going over with a client the other day where, hey, they're buying a $450,000 house and they're paying $450,000 even though it may only be worth $400,000. Because back where they came from, that's a $900,000 or $1 million home. So to be getting essentially 50% off in their eyes, just living in a different city, the price really doesn't matter. I've been in real estate for 4 years, and there's obviously humor in every single profession. On TikTok kind of understands what you like to view, and I do have a lot of real estate stuff that comes across my For You page because it is my profession, it's what I'm interested in. Some of the content that I do make is real estate oriented. If you do want to follow me on TikTok, my handle is KMacRG, that's KMACRG. To be quite transparent, not all of it is real estate oriented like this YouTube channel is. A lot of it's just my personal life. You can feel free to follow me on there though too. All of my other social media is going to be down in the description below. Make sure to like and subscribe. This will definitely not be the only TikTok React video that I do, so stay tuned for the next video.